Hi, welcome to Spirit Airlines. Okay, and welcome back to the Open Door Podcast, where anything and everything can go through. I am one of your lovely hosts, Isaiah Kerr, and we have actually two special guests here today, which is great because it's the first time we're having special guests. So would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
2 for 1 deal.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sherry. My name's Mary. Mary Faye. Hello.
Hi, I'm Ava Solmarna. Thank you for having me on the Open Door Podcast. Let me open the door to your heart.
Ooh. All right. And our other host here.
I'm currently gagging and regurgitating.
No, none of that. None of that. No, your
Okay.
mom joke. Yeah.
As before, I am Ethan.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Sherry could not be accompanying us. I heard she, just wasn't able to make it. Possibly exploded. Not sure. Lost her head? Maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sherry.
Dehydrated to death? I have no idea. But
Maybe she's perfectly fine.
yeah, maybe. We have no idea. But you know something that that was not perfectly fine? Traffic to homecoming. Traffic to homecoming was absolutely terrible. It
Oh,
took
so we're diving straight into it.
took so long to get to homecoming.
Yeah, homecoming was last
Like-
Saturday, right?
Yeah, it
It
was.
feels so freaking long ago. But there was so much traffic. Like
Yes, so much.
I remember it started from like the bridge or just right before the bridge, but like it was nothing but traffic.
Yeah.
And I genuinely thought that some of the cars belonged to like, other people doing things, but every single car was going straight to homecoming.
Yeah.
Like it got to the point where people were literally getting outside their car to walk. Like it was just a mess.
Like, screw this.
I personally didn't go to homecoming, and you guys are not making me regret it.
Congratulations.
Nothing. Yeah, you kind of were lucky because like the music was like any stereotypical like school party. Like yeah, they had like party rock anthem and whatnot. They had like shot, but it was the kid friendly version.
Did you guys take any shots?
No,
No.
unfortunately,
What do you mean, unfortunately?
Unfortunately, there was only water there. There's only like.
But they had Capri Suns too.
Oh yeah, they also had
Y'all
Capri
taking
Suns.
Capri Sun shots?
Yeah.
Hey, let me get an ounce of that strawberry blast.
I like to stab it from the bottom. But anyways,
Get out.
Hold up, we're not going to gloss over that fact. You stab it from the bottom. I remember when that was a thing. Like I remember when they did the
Stabbing
whole,
it from the bottom?
No, they had like the clear bottoms and they're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
here's here kind of thing. Because it was like a marketing campaign.
Oh,
I didn't know it was a marketing
was?
campaign. I just knew that they had clear bottoms.
No, yeah, they did the whole thing.
Oh, I did. Then why the heck did they still have like the puncture here on the top when it's like when they advertise it so you're able to like poke it from the bottom? That's so weird though.
I don't know. But like they had a bunch of different snacks at Hoko, but nothing that was really food.
Yeah, there was not really any food. At least like last Hoko, there was at least like food trucks there.
Yeah, but that
And
was so expensive.
It was expensive. They gave you like one free hot dog.
Yeah.
And that was about it. And then like if you wanted another one, it was like what, like $5 or something?
Yeah.
It
Like
was
they had like an
expensive.
$11 smoothie.
Yeah, but like, yeah, there was just not really any food. There was a chocolate fountain. And then
That
it
was really good.
I heard someone put an Oreo in it and they're like, no, just no. They got
Really?
mad at him because he put an Oreo. Like,
Really?
no one wants to eat that.
I would.
He wanted to
wanted
eat
to
it,
eat it,
obviously. He wanted to eat it.
No, I
But-
put some Rice Krispies in there because I'm pretty sure that's why they had the Rice Krispies.
Yeah, chocolate dipped Rice Krispies. That's
So just
that's
the chocolate Rice Krispies.
chocolate Rice Krispies, basically.
But like they
For
also
the
had like
strawberries,
the
though.
poker room, I think.
Oh yeah, they had the poker
oh
room
yeah,
and
I had
also
so
a pool
much fun
table.
playing pool. Yeah.
I saw I heard about the poker room, and that's the one thing I'm disappointed because I'm so good at counting cards for blackjack. I'm good
yeah.
at poker and pool. I'm decent at pool, so I could have, I don't know if you're allowed to play with real money, but I could have racked up a couple.
You know,
And showed us some card tricks.
I do know a couple card tricks.
yeah, like what?
I've been practicing. Someone I know who's really good with cardistry, Tristan.
Bless you.
I don't know his last name, but Tristan. He loves ducks.
Harvard?
Yeah, he's good at cardistry. But I've been practicing my different shuffles again, just because I've been getting into playing poker and blackjack again. I don't support gambling addictions, but I do support losing money to me.
I don't support gambling unless you're losing to me, in
Yeah.
which case I encourage.
But I
it.
don't support winning it, like beating me. So you're only allowed to play if you're gonna lose to me specifically.
Specifically.
Like at this point, you're just asking for
Yeah.
money.
Did you hold on? Like,
No.
I have something to tell you. Our friend Tai Tai, as we're gonna say to hide his identity, Tai Tai. He.
Also, you yells tie tie across the.
Yeah, as if you don't already out him.
I'm sorry, continue. Yeah.
But yeah, Tai Tai, he was saying how he was like absolutely like winning at blackjack, saying that like he kept winning like every single time, and it eventually got to the point where he was getting like, there was no money involved, it was like fake money, but he got to the point where he had like over like tens of thousands of like dollars and stuff like that, to the point where it was just like the dealer was like, you know what, the next time you win, you just get all the chips, all right?
No, I think
and
it
like
got to the point where like
they had to write it down
they
on
wrote it
paper because they didn't have enough chips for how much he was winning.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was 30,000 or more, but
Yeah,
from what I
I'm
recall,
pretty sure it was more than 30,000.
maybe.
Yeah, that was pretty insane. But yeah,
I mean,
Y'all saw this happen?
yeah,
well,
I
like-
saw some of it. I saw
some of it.
I was busy playing pool.
yeah,
know.
I was way
You
too
guys
busy
good at pool?
dancing.
How did the pool games go?
Well, I just watched them. I didn't really play any. I was more just wandering around.
Is Ava the pool master
Ava,
at this
who
table?
who are you playing against?
Jesus, and then this other guy, and then another guy. I beat Jesus though.
You hate Were you stripes or solids?
Depend how you break, I guess. You know.
No,
mean-
it's whichever shot you get first.
Yeah.
That's your.
Yeah, but it was
that's-
different every time.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
they'll
like when
give
you
won,
won,
were you
yeah.
stripes or solids?
Maybe stripes.
Okay.
All right.
But it was so fun, like using.
I'm more of a
table on my
solids
back
man.
And then half sitting on the table.
Oh my gosh, this girl.
The pool rod
like,
is like twice your size.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't.
Did they have smaller ones made just for you?
Anyways,
Get out.
I'm only poking fun.
Speaking of games, the football game, like, wasn't it Friday?
I think it was. Yeah, it was the day before.
Well, yeah. It's,
It was,
right.
it was not
It was
good.
before.
It was not good.
Do you guys remember who scored?
I think it was like, what was it like?
oh, 56-14. Much
Yes.
better than 44-14. Am I right?
Yeah,
You want to
except
specify who was 14?
yeah.
No, that
Take a
information.
guess.
You have to pay for the subscription to get that information.
Yeah. Sign up
Subscribe
for
to
our
our
Patreon.
Patreon.
Subscribe to
Subscribe
the
to my Patreon.
Yeah.
Get out.
I'll subscribe to your
Speaking
mom's
of
Patreon.
subscribing, shameless plug, make sure to subscribe to the Open Door Podcast, capital O, capital P, capital D, as well as follow our Instagram at Open Door Podcast _. Make sure to share that with your friends and family. Now, back to what we were talking about.
Okay, I didn't go to the homecoming game, but my issue is with our Rev versus RHS game. It's at Citrus Valley. Okay.
Yes.
That's sorry, a little bit of inconvenience, but it's fine. It's whatever.
Yes.
Do we have to pay to go? Because it's not it's technically not a home game.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's a whole RUSD thing where everyone's free, like no
Res-
matter
Yeah.
what.
I think away games we have to pay. That's the thing.
Oh.
I'm not. I'm not
I-
completely sure though. But then my main problem is, I'm fine with that. I would be fine paying.
Yeah.
Thursday. Why?
Why on a Thursday?
It is
On
as
Thursday?
of recording. It is tomorrow, which is a Thursday, and that's horrid.
like
Absolutely atrocious.
I think
Blasphemous, if you will.
Blast.
blasphemous. That's a little foul. But like I think it's really I'm gonna say poor scheduling instead of any other word. But like cause like I think it feels petty to like have it at Citrus or something like that because they don't have a field. Like
They need to earn themselves a field. I mean, we didn't earn ourselves a field, but still.
I think we only have it because we're rich. Anyways,
Have you seen? Oh my God! Have you seen Rev's campus?
I've not. Well,
think I
actually, I have a couple times.
It's insane.
Yeah,
It's
I
like-
like Rev's campus.
It's insane.
It's an indoor school, right?
For the most part.
Yeah.
But it's like beautiful.
It's really pretty.
Beauteous.
I've only seen the outside of it because there's this thing that they have called Angel's Closet where you can get free clothes. And I've basically only seen the outside of Rev and like some classrooms away from the main building.
Yeah, I've yet to see Citrus's campus. That's the only one I haven't seen.
I don't think I've seen Citrus.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that they're having it at Citrus on a Thursday. I'm not going to that.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are gonna be there.
I don't care how much school spirit. I'm not going to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been like outside of like I've seen the outside of Rev and like a little bit of the inside, but I've only seen like the music rooms and stuff like that. But like besides that, I haven't really seen much of Rev. I haven't seen any other campus. The only campus I've seen is here at RHS. So yeah, but we're gonna talk about. Are we still gonna talk about like the game that was happening? And
I can't really contribute. I wasn't there, and I'm kind of glad I didn't want to see
Me either.
our little Boston Terriers get butchered.
Yeah, because apparently our apparently the school was rooting for the other team instead of ours eventually.
Oh.
You guys were there, weren't you?
Yeah.
Mary and Ava, you guys were there. Right? Can you vouch that happened?
Well, I remember it was the first time we scored in quotes, like emphasis in quotes, because we like made a touchdown, right?
Yes.
And then I think they called a foul. Yeah, they called a foul on it, and we didn't get the point. And we were so excited, like our entire side was like screaming, shouting, and they're like, anyways.
It's a foul.
I mean,
Yeah.
we got it in spirit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't speak.
I
It
can't
was
really
realistic
tell.
21.
I can't really tell whether or not people were cheering for the other team, but it was more like our usual games where we just cheer no matter what happens. So
No matter what happened.
How did the homecoming court end up?
I mean, I think we knew.
Oh yeah, we did cheer. We were going Varun, Varun.
Yeah. Why would
I'm
we
gonna be honest.
sing-
I don't know who
Because-
Varun is.
Me
I've
either.
seen everyone like rooting for him. Oh my God, Varun needs to win. I don't know who Varun is. I don't know
who Varun
I've been too afraid to ask.
Because I don't want to be honest. Like, you don't know who Varun is? Are you an idiot?
Legendary
Why?
Varun.
I thought he was an underclassman. He was in my Spanish class last year.
Maybe.
Who,
But
Varun?
he's not. He's in our grade.
Oh, okay.
Who?
No, I think the nominees or whatever. I think Morgan knows like two of them, but I don't know if the one who won was someone that she knows. So basically, they all seem to be friends of a friend.
Yeah, friends of a friend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wait. Before the actual homecoming game started, did y'all see the dodgeball match?
The dodgeball.
There was a dodgeball
during
match.
The rally?
Yeah, the rally. There was a
Wow.
dodgeball match.
Yeah, no.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, we
You
saw
were in
that.
Yeah, I was. Me,
Yeah, we
Isaiah.
were cheering
I
for you
was.
so
We were like
proud.
in the crowd. Like I remember, I was like, "God, you need to get there." Like Isaiah's gonna be in there. So
Yeah,
we really, we
Mary
ran.
threw me off the bleachers.
Okay, I'm not. No, we're not pushing it that far. Like we were like literally, we were swinging Ava as we were running. Me and Mary we were swinging her as we ran. But we got to the pictures and we saw you.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your performance?
It was. I would say it was decent.
You went. You know, you got a couple people out.
I got a couple people out. Yeah, don't need to sweat the details any
you'll-
more than that.
But you know, really, you want to explain what happened to lead to ultimately to the result?
Yeah, I got hit in the face.
Yeah. No, I mean at the end, like the total result of the match.
The total result of the match, we won. Red team.
Well, yeah, but what decision? What things led to that, in your opinion?
For me getting in there, or the dodgeball match entirely.
As a team, what do you think? Like you guys, do you think who do you think was the MVP? What do you think as a team you guys did to win?
Mostly the black people in the group.
Oh my God. Wow, look at the time.
we had the power of BSU, and we even came up with like a what was it, our own team name, because it was BSU Fashion Club and something else that started with an F. I forgot.
Gotta be one of my favorite genders.
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was, what was it, like? Was it like Fam Club or something? I forgot what it was, but it started with an F.
I don't get it.
But like we
I don't
created
get
the team.
Ava's joke.
Me either. But we.
Can you explain it, please?
No, it's just a meme. Like sunglasses, gotta be one of my favorite genders.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never heard that.
But yeah, we
Oh.
created the team name BFF because it was BSU, Fashion Club, and then something else that started with F, BFF. So we were like BFF. So we had the power of BFF and whatnot, as well as black privilege to win that match.
The black genetic privilege.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, we ultimately won that one, and I think that led to our downfall.
Well, at least we won something.
Yeah, we won something. But yeah, on to.
No, but let's talk about the vote that really matters.
Yeah.
Have y'all seen the new Minecraft? Like the new Minecraft announcements with the mob
Yeah.
votes?
Okay,
Oh my gosh,
no.
I absolutely.
You
You haven't? Oh my gosh.
I think
wait,
I've seen
do-
one of the.
Wait, okay, we need to pull up the creatures,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah,
Give
we
a
need
little
to pull
description of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a
I remember
it's like a turtle
little-
camel. Also, actually, camels are gonna get introduced into Minecraft, which is actually pretty
Well,
cool.
don't they already have the alpacas?
Yeah, they have
llama.
alpacas, but they're not
Or
camels.
llamas, but
Okay.
they're basically camels.
No, they're
Different
not.
horses.
They
No, they're
spit.
Yeah, and they don't have the humps. All right, they don't have the humps. All right, camels have the humps. Okay, we love the humps of the camels. Okay, we need the humps. All right.
Why did you do that with your hand? I wish
The
that-
way you're clutching your hand.
We need.
Oh no,
them.
you want to animate it?
Someone needs to
I
animate this. Animate like a dragon claw. Just like we
I'm pulling
need
up
the
new
camels.
mob vote, the new mobs.
Yeah.
The winner. Oh wait, the mob vote 2020 winner was the sniffer.
Yeah, the sniffer.
The sniffer. Let me Google it.
Was that the one with?
It's like a little like animal, like a little like I know it's an animal, but it's more like a kind of like a turtle type of
Yeah,
like,
it's like
creature.
it's like this giant like turtle thing. I don't know how to describe it. It's like
It's like we
a
don't know how
turtle
to.
dragon almost.
That
Yeah, like a
is
turtle.
so
Like it's not like
cute.
Bowser,
I'm
but
sorry,
it's
it's
like
ugly.
Get out!
Okay,
Why
maybe
you
from
look
the
like that,
front.
though?
Because look at it from the front. It's like a Minecraft smiley emoji.
Yeah.
It's a smile. It's just like
Okay.
Is that a
it's
platypus?
it's just happy.
No, it's not a platypus.
The dragon
What is it?
platypus.
The other thing. Oh,
But I'm
wait.
pretty sure one of its purpose is to like sniff out like seeds and like plants from underground. Apparently,
How would you distinguish which one's it's sniffing out?
I don't know. It's like I think it just like digs it up because it'll be like,
Got
and
a
then it's like sniffs it up.
55.1% vote rate. So
55.1. What?
Do not
What?
ever.
to revive them, you'll need to find their eggs. Once they've hatched into the new mob, you'll be able to use them to sniff out decorative plants and find new seeds. Yep, correct.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
Okay.
What else? All right. What else was introduced with the new mob? Or with the new update?
Yeah, there were camels. Were there? I don't think there was like any new like cave updates. Were there?
I don't know. I feel like the person who should be answering is the avid Minecraft player at the table.
Don't look at me
Ava.
like that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't even know. I just see
Yeah.
her
No,
like,
okay, so
posting
like
stuff.
me and Ava used to play Minecraft a lot together, but like it kind of switched.
Sherry and
again.
Ava play Minecraft a lot.
Yeah.
don't they?
Oh
yeah.
yeah. You
That's
play
what I'm
a
saying.
lot
She's
with Sherry.
the avid.
Yeah,
Minecraft
you're the
player.
avid. You're the avid
I
Minecrafter.
only play League and Valorant.
You nerd.
I'm sorry, I'm a degenerate.
Like,
Yeah,
I
play.
used to
Yeah,
a
play something
lot.
else like Team Fortress 2 or something. I don't know.
I only play free games on Steam. Anyway.
Team Fortress 2 is free. What are you
League of
talking
Legends
about?
and Valorant are both free.
Yeah.
I told you to download League with me.
I
Right.
haven't told you to download Team Fortress 2 yet, but it is a great game. Anyway, Ava, explain the Minecraft update to us, to a simple
I
plebeian.
don't know. I don't think she's seen it, but I'm just saying, like, what do you think about Minecraft as a whole?
Yeah.
Or like, what do you like?
What? What?
Okay.
Well, what do you think about like the new updates in general, like the past couple updates?
Okay, I'm not really familiar with them because we haven't played since, or we haven't played since like July.
Yeah.
yeah, I think
And
you-
before that, we haven't played since break.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
so you
before
guys haven't
that-
been playing Minecraft.
No,
Yeah.
like
You guys are phonies.
I don't know.
No, I think I was really interested in a lot of the updates. Like, I think but like since I lost my phone, I lost my world.
You want to tell a story about that? Just a
Listen,
quick sidetrack.
Listen.
Sidetrack.
Really quickly, I had lost my phone at an arcade, and I think it might have gotten stolen. But
Imagine your phone getting stolen.
oh wow, you want to talk about what happened in Jack
We'll
in
go
the
into
Box?
that after. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so I had lost my phone at an arcade with I was hanging out with my older sister, and I think
Jeez.
I hate that, and I hope the mic picked up on that.
The mic
Because I
100% picked that up.
I never want to. All y'all
I
are
hear that
terrible with the mic. But yeah, I lost it in an arcade, and I think because I was Find My iPhone to find it, and I think it might have been in some girl's bag, but I was too scared to ask.
So you had the culprit right in front of you, possibly, and you're just too
It was
afraid to
like
ask?
it was a hunch, and I didn't want to like falsely accuse her. So
It's better to falsely accuse someone and find your stuff, because then you wouldn't be falsely accusing them.
Yeah, you would be accusing.
It's better, but if you're falsely accusing them and you're wrong, so what? You're never gonna see her again.
Yeah,
Right.
you know.
Well-
Unless you like physically assault her and she just so happens to be like a super minor of like 5 years old or something. I don't know.
Say less.
stop.
Super minor?
A super
Ava?
Ava. Wait,
Y'all,
no.
terrible.
We're not,
Think
hold
about
on, no, 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 no. We're not gonna skip over
where
that.
you were like, oh my god, let me take a photo. This looks so pretty, and you're like, oh wait, I don't have my phone. I'm like, oh, use mine.
With your zero storage?
Anyway,
Anyway.
why do you think I
No,
have zero storage?
I was supposed to get so after I lost said phone, my sister was gonna get me one before Hoko during like the game, but then she got busy, a whole thing, and I still don't have a new phone. But I have an Obama
Well,
phone. And
yeah,
it's kinda
apparently.
cracked, and
I remember I got my phone stolen back when I worked at Jack in the Box, and I was having a horrible day. Like I was already having I was stressed out, so
I
I was
recall.
changing. I was changing really quick, and I put my phone down, and I'm like, okay, I'm changing. I have to rush back in because they want me immediately, and I leave my phone on the bathroom floor. I get my first break a couple hours in, and I'm like, okay, this is annoying. You know what? I'm just gonna check my phone. I go. Okay, I realized I didn't have it in my bag. Okay, oh, my bad. Okay, I check around the break room. Not there. All right, I was like, oh, maybe I left it in the office. I go to the office, not there. I'm like, oh, shoot, did I leave it in the restroom? Not there. So I
Yeah.
keep looking for like a good 15 minutes of my break, and I just accept it at that point. And I was already so done with anything. I wasn't mad. I wasn't sad. I just kind of sat there. I was like, damn. And I remember I went up to Ava and Mary. They were there, and I was like, have you guys seen my phone? Can you call my phone?
yeah, I called it a few times.
Yeah, and then they're like,
Nothing.
okay, we gotta go.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there. I'm just like, well, this is my life now.
Wow.
And everyone's amazed because all my coworkers are amazed. They're like, how are you not freaking out? I'm like, honestly,
done.
It was on its last life.
it's
It was on
there's
his
no
last
point at this. It's whatever. And eventually, yeah, it did get stolen, and I was able to get myself a new phone. Eventually, I had insurance on it, so I can get the new phone. But it was a good while I just didn't have a phone.
Yeah,
And to be
How
honest, it
was
was
that?
kind of nice.
that's fair. I mean, you would.
Living without a phone is kind of it's like a detox, almost. It's during that time I was I had higher attention span. I was able to be more. I had less dopamine rushes. It was a lot easier, and I was able to enjoy things more. Of course, there'll be times where I'll be a bit more bored,
Yeah.
but for the most part, I definitely say that sometimes not having fun's nice.
Yeah. That actually leads us into one of the questions that one of our lovely viewers sent in. Just so happens to be my mom. Hello. Love you, Mom. The question is, why is this generation so soft and emotionally disconnected? Is it because of the increased screen time?
Look in the mirror. Sorry. Flash J.
No, okay, one, I was like, oh my god, it's your mom.
Yeah,
love her.
dude,
Oh my
I
gosh.
can- You
Emotionally,
better
what
not.
do you mean by emotionally disconnected?
I don't know. I think she's trying to talk to me specifically.
I think this might be a little targeted.
It might be
Emotionally
a bit.
disconnected in the fact that you're they don't express emotions. What did this?
Like, I wouldn't say I don't express emotions. It's just I feel like I guess I express a little more negative emotions when I'm at home, probably because I'm just really tired.
That's not emotionally disconnected. That's
It's not very emotionally
That's
disconnected.
you're expressing emotions. It's just not positive ones.
Yeah.
It's not definitely not because of increased screen time,
Yeah.
but as we've come to the current age, the stresses of school and other aspects of life have definitely been able to increase, especially since core curriculums have continued to rise in their standards. So you're learning more and more things on the daily, which multiple studies have shown that's increasing energy. For you to just learn the same thing all day, every day, that's different than learning 7 different subjects every day and applying energy to that hours at a time.
Yeah.
So to complete your own office job that you know how to do, and I would argue a lot of adults working a 9-to-5 job would argue that they're tired when they get home. They don't have
Yeah.
energy. That is ultimately and usually less tiring than being at school, because if you are actively engaged in the content you are learning at school,
Yeah.
You are learning and applying different parts of your brain. You're applying left, right. You're applying multiple parts.
Middle, upper,
Sometimes you're applying physical parts if you have PE or physical courses. But
Bless you.
obviously, the classic office 9 to 5 job, you don't apply your brain or use it as much anymore. So you're going to be tired because you're going to be, repeating and you're going to be using energy, but you're not going to be actively
You're not going to be
applying
using
your
more
brain.
of your brain.
Yeah, you're not going to be actively applying and new
You're gonna be
knowledge.
using probably gonna be using like your body, like a lot of your body's like like put the stuff together, walk around the office and whatnot, but you're not really like using your brain a lot, like how you
Well,
would in school.
The problem is you don't use your body when you're working an office job. That's why a lot of people do alternatives with like different types of chairs. People use, those like fluffed up balls. They're air-filled balls that work out your core and stuff. Because when you're able to engage your body in the work you're doing, you're able to provide more efficient results, more effective results. And a lot of people in offices look to engage their body more with their work because when you're sitting there in a certain position all day, you're trying to be comfortable, so you're slouched and you're just same position, doing the same thing. It definitely is, it's not as effective in applying your brain when you're actively moving your body, actively engaging all your nervous system.
Yeah. Could I have gotten my mom involved in this conversation? Because my mom just called me.
Really? Oh my god.
My mom just called me. She's actually asking me where I am and when I'm coming home. So should I call her back and put her on speakerphone?
If you like, you can.
Let's.
I feel like it's gonna be a bit choppy audio.
Yeah.
It might be a bit choppy audio. Let's see.
Also, I think what she means
Hello?
by soft is in like sensitive,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Well,
Hi,
no,
mother.
That's kind of.
No, that's definitely what she means.
Hello, ma.
Yes.
What?
What are you doing?
I'm doing the podcast actually right now.
Okay, how you gonna get home?
I'm gonna take the bus. By the way, mom, we're actually doing one of the questions that you posted in like a bit ago. Yeah, the one where you asked why this generation is so soft and emotionally disconnected, and is it because of the increased screen time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
We just want clarification
Yeah,
on what
we
you mean
just-
by
yeah.
elaborate on emotionally disconnected.
Yeah. Elaborate on emotionally disconnected mother,
Please.
please.
That I feel like because everybody's so much in their phones, they don't really check on one another. Like, you don't really know whether your friend is good. You know what I mean? Like, we spend a lot of time in your phones and on social media. And then I feel like they tend to show their hurt by, I don't know, they get to the extremes, like want to commit suicide and all these things in this day and age. They say that social media is so, tough on them. But I feel like if you were able to talk to your friends and say, look, I'm having a hard time, but I feel like people don't do that nowadays. Everybody's so to themselves. No one really has that deep interpersonal relationship. Somebody that you could really say, I'm going to pour out my emotions today because I'm not feeling good,
Okay. All right. Like.
No, that's completely valid.
Yeah,
That's
it's
Yeah.
completely valid.
But social media is on its own is a big problem that can be talked about on multiple scales. Social media it definitely adds on to the increased depression rates of society, and it adds on to the emotion. There is a certain disconnect that applies from people on social media, but overall screen time also helps increase because people are able to find other ways to cope, find other sources that help them break out of certain shells that have been established through certain ways of being raised, especially people who are from ethnic backgrounds who are being taught that emotions are on the weaker side. And there are currently a lot of, coping mechanisms on certain apps. And it's basically how you apply your screen time, how one individually applies their way of going into their phone. The fact is that people are emotionally connected to one another, but it's expressed differently than how it was, say, 20, 30 years ago, because we're not seeing as many people, speaking to each other on a real, like, face-to-face level, but there's still the same interpersonal level between that in the words that they are saying, because there's a lot less flexibility between how about 20, 30 years ago, it was very common to see a lot of people look for their problems and just be like, actively look for solutions, but I feel today's generation is more, it is what it is, and that's due to a different conversation of a large societal aspect of fetishization of sadness. People actively look to be sad because if you are sad with meaning and look to be sad, then it ultimately has a purpose in one's eyes rather than looking at yourself and just being like, I'm sad for no reason, and that ultimately hurts more. So people are able to cope and try and hold in their sadness just to feel justified with their own sadness. And there's, like I said, there's a large fetishization of people's own sadness and people actively looking to be sad. And this is due to a lot of romantic media romanticizing things such as suicide, mental illnesses, and, you know, a lot of books too. And there's a certain like aesthetic with being sad and depressed that a lot of people strive to be, especially within younger teens, preteens, who will.
I feel like people, because you guys are not socially connected, so people are searching out attention in sometimes the wrong way. So it could be putting out TikToks and all kinds of videos, or then you have those that are, you know, vague looking how depressed they are, and, you know, just wanting somebody to respond. I feel like it's half of it is that because they want attention, and the other half could be totally being just disconnected. In my day, we had to like literally fight bullies face to face, and now you guys got social media, and no one really knows how to work through those problems like face to face.
I definitely agree with that. The face to face aspect of bullying, like back then, it's so much easier to look at what a bully is and what the stereotypes or what the traditional bully is. Nowadays, a bully can be anyone who feels emotionally weak and wants to bring down others. So because there's such a bigger span, it's not as easy as, and the more active ways for them to bully one another, it's not as easy as, you know, face-to-face confrontation, because sometimes that's not even possible. There's a big thing with what people value in society, like what people value at certain ages. And because what's popular now, and definitely due to increased screen time and more media access, is there's larger subgenres and communities where they actively look out to be
sad.
I
And,
mean,
like, you know.
I kind of agree with that, but I also kind of don't. Sorry. Hi, it's Mary.
Hello.
I kind of agree with that, and I kind of don't. I do agree that social media and, you know, screen time can lead to a lot of depression and a lot of like mental illnesses and just an emotional disconnect. But I don't think it's just because people are like wanting to feel this way. I think it's a lot because we now have an access to a lot of different things all around the world, and that's really depressing. Like we can see like at just like one Google search, we can see anything. We can see things happening in different places, like murders going on, a lot of like what's it called? Like a lot of different issues everywhere, and
Riots and stuff like that, wars.
That's
Even natural disaster.
Yeah, and a lot of these things can lead to
existential crises. And at this point, existential crises are at the young
highest.
people are experiencing them at the younger age than they ever had to before.
Yeah.
To the
Right.
point where, you know.
But at some parts, it's a good thing that like, you know, people have this access to all of these different things. But at the same time, it can be really damaging to one. And like also there's other things like comparing yourself to other people online. It can.
That's very detrimental.
yeah,
I have done that in a lot of cases, to be honest.
Well, how come they're in Bali and they're riding on camels and stuff, and I want to do that?
Yeah.
Well, ultimately, social media pushes forth the image you want.
Yeah, the better
Yeah.
image of, because nobody really wants to like show like the depressing side, like unless that's like
Unless
what
you're
they
in that
do.
sub-community.
Yeah, like unless you're in
Yeah.
that community, most people wants to show like, hey, look at like this cool thing that I'm doing, or look at what like I'm doing like with my girlfriend or with my boyfriend or stuff like that. Look at all this cool stuff that we're doing, and with that, it will always make you feel as if like, why am I not doing that?
So
Like,
ultimately,
If
you
you're
know.
spending more time watching like all these things online that are somewhat unrealistic, that everybody's, you know, on vacation, everybody's looking super happy, and they've got all these perfect relationships, and you then start to feel like, well, mine is not perfect. You know, I've been being depressed, therefore, you know, because your life isn't perfect like what it's portrayed on social media.
Ultimately, I'm actually drawing back to circle around to agreeing that it is because of increased screen time, but it's also how you, again, like I said before, it's how each person individually chooses to spend their screen time. Because someone who's using their time to maybe read a book through a Kindle is definitely going to experience different emotions through someone who's just actively scrolling through Instagram.
Or TikTok or any other type
Any
of
sort of social media.
You know? Yeah.
So there's, as there is a drawback with everything, you know, technology has advanced in many ways, but ultimately the screen time, like this large gap between other generations and currently, the screen time increase has had a fair share of issues, but it also is proving increased ways on how to help deal with these issues, because now there's so much more, because of this, there's so much more support for people who do have these issues. So it's kind of fixing the problem it's causing at the same time, but it's a cycle because it fixes the problem it causes, but then it causes the problem again.
Yeah.
So it's hard because then when we eliminate, let's say we were to eliminate a lot of this excess screen time, it's going to be decreasing the amount, but it's also decreasing the overall support for these people, unfortunately. Because someone who never had to deal with these emotions, to go to your friends and be like, hey, I'm depressed, and they've never dealt with that, they cannot help you the same way someone who has
experience with
Exactly.
like depression or, you know, stuff like that went through similar things.
That's why a lot of people feel rejected when they go and speak out, because a lot of people don't understand how to help them.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I do agree that increased screen time has caused problems in such a way, but you also have to realize, you also look at the positives note of it on how it's helping it in many ways, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Okay, from my point of view, I will see several teenagers. You get them all together, my coworkers, we bring our kids together and stuff, and everybody's in their phone, too enthralled in their phone to even like play a board game or meet somebody new. Like, I feel like those are the things that people are missing out on when you spend so much time in your phones.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
That's definitely a problem with the
Younger generation.
this
you know,
generation.
This generation.
I mean, not even millennials too.
Yeah, some
You see that a
some
lot
like
with-
young adults do kind of just, you know, hang out, but then they just are in their phone kind of.
But I feel like that's not even because of like a social norm. That's just because you have so much access and so much instant dopamine you can get released via your phone.
Yeah.
People just tend to do it. Personally, I don't find my phone very interesting. I don't like going through my phone is kind of boring to me. So if have the chance to be actively engaged in the conversation with someone, I feel like I would. But then at the same time, if I'm bored by the conversation at hand, sometimes
Yes,
people use that as an
definitely.
excuse. If someone actively doesn't want to talk to you, they will be
they
on their
will
phone.
they will use
So
your
it's
phone.
also, I like to look at it as an extension of body language. If someone's on their phone, then they are shutting themselves off. They're closed. They don't want to speak to you, and they aren't listening. And it's just, you have to find your people. And we're increasing this because people, we've noticed this in teens a lot, but this is also a psychological thing, because a lot of teenagers do not want to be, they're at a stage in their brain development, and this is why there's stereotypes. But teenagers, a lot of them don't really want to interact with others because they're confused on what they want from themselves. Are confused on what's going on. They're overwhelmed. So they're going to sit in their own little world. But you see them grow out of it as they engage in college. They go and meet more people. They are introduced to more things in society and like the real world, essentially. People grow out of this. But during your teenage phase, this is where you see it the most.
You guys should maybe do a poll in your like lunchroom and see how many people are actually interacting with other people, how many people are on their phones, and then maybe I doubt there are going to be many people reading books, but too.
Yeah, I can. I
Okay.
definitely think that's something we should look into.
Mhm.
Just off like the estimate from what I can remember, I definitely see more people interacting than on their phones.
Yes.
When I go to the library, then I'll see a couple people reading books, but most of the people in the library are on their phones more often. It's usually people who are by themselves. They're closed off and on their phones. People who are actively in groups, they usually aren't on their phones and they're just, talking.
Hanging out with
socializing.
each other and stuff
It's-
like that.
body language, essentially.
Buddies.
Yeah, so I think we can probably put a poll on the Instagram or something of the sort, and we're about to run out of time. We have like 10 minutes.
Well,
left.
no.
It's an
active
no.
conversation.
I
Yeah,
know.
It's not
we're
really a
having
poll per se
conversation.
because we're not going to ask someone, what are you doing during lunch? It's just more
No,
like
like the question thingies on the Instagram.
what do you mean?
Do you not know what a poll is on the Instagram?
No, yeah, it's not a poll
Yeah.
because a
Yeah.
poll is you ask someone, like you
Yeah.
ask them,
Right.
and they're gonna vote. This would be more of like not a survey, but more an active.
graph?
A graph. Like this is us making a check and tally.
Yeah, like a tally
Yeah,
graph or
that's
something
it.
like that, like a bar graph or something that
Yeah.
that we would possibly make.
So we can just go around asking different people.
Not even ask. It's just
Just like
observing.
look,
Yeah, you
observe.
look and see
Observe.
how many people.
People watch.
Like, what would you go ask them? You go up and just be like, "Hey, are you on your phone?
Are you on your phone? They'll be
are
like,
you
yes.
reading a book?"
So
Are you being a nerd right now?
it would be how many people are on their
Or
phone
just that,
versus
like,
people
today
engaged in
at lunch,
conversation.
were you either A, on your phone, having a conversation in a group, or was it just one person, or reading a book, or other activities?
What about people who are like half and half? People
Yeah.
who are actively engaged in conversations.
But also on their phone.
Something else, but
Yeah.
and maybe we could come up with some solutions as to how, because since so many people are disconnected, maybe there are resources online that people can use.
Well, yeah, there's definitely it's a personal choice to be disconnected. Yeah, I actively believe that it's your body language. You are choosing to be disconnected, and you choose that you don't want to talk to people. To actively not engage in conversation with one another is an active choice. It's not like a disorder.
Some tools or some guidelines. Maybe
Yeah.
you should limit some and don't compare yourselves and kind of things of that nature.
The problem is with social media is that people subconsciously compare themselves a lot of times. And it should be more people are learning to be more confident, more self-confident, and be comfortable within their own skin and understanding their imperfections compared to others. But then also understanding where they can improve themselves.
But that's something you gotta learn eventually. Or it could take completely disconnecting from social media and seeing how much healthier you
Like what
are.
Ethan did by accident.
By accident, yeah.
Or it can be like it's gonna need like either help from peers or just self-realization, like, hey, I'm starting to notice that like these things are really bad for me, and then it's gonna be really difficult to like break that cycle of like, oh, going through TikTok, going through Instagram, all this stuff.
It's
It's something you just kind of have to learn, or you just kind of have to
Deal with.
enforce yourself.
the thing with social media is it's instant dopamine. You get that dopamine rush. It's easy. It's quick. You just when you're bored, you catch yourself scrolling without even realizing it, and that's a problem. But
that's
the
a
thing
serious
is-
problem with me. My mom is definitely gonna. My mom has been calling me out on that, and she is definitely going to yell at me for that once I get home. Aren't you, Mom?
You do some silly stuff.
But the problem is when we look at it as people are emotionally disconnected, we kind of look at it as a disorder instead of what it really is. It's simply a phase in what the growth of their maturity. That's why we see it most commonly through teens, because they haven't reached the maturity level where they have learned how to A, be okay being bored, and B, actively look for
Bless you.
natural dopamine, and C, finally, they just don't know how to small talk. Small talk is awkward. No one likes small talking.
I love small talk, Ko. I like small talk.
Like, it's communicating with people is a skill.
Exactly.
So I feel like the more you shy away from it or do other things in lieu of, I feel like it makes it hard to meet new people and, engage in conversation.
Yeah, that's an active choice though. Like I was an introvert. Years ago I was an introvert, and all my friends can tell me can vouch for how outgoing I am now and how active I am when talking to people.
Yeah.
But before I was an introvert, but I decided I don't like being alone and actively not talking to people. I don't like being like this. So I learned the skill of communication, how to talk to people, and it's weird. It takes time, but ultimately it is a choice on what you do, and you can't change people's minds on how they want to communicate with others. But the increase in screen time definitely contributes and helps people close themselves off, because if you're just walking around, with bad posture and you're with headphones in, then no one's gonna try and talk to you traditionally.
True.
True.
So
Yeah.
we are agreeing that this is an issue. So
This is an issue,
It is.
but this is
There's
a personal
other
choice.
factors.
There's other factors. It's an issue that has solutions, and it's a
Yeah.
personal choice ultimately.
So, like, long story short, yes, it can contribute, or like it can be the
attributed.
cause of screen time, but it could also be the cause of a lot of outside things, or a personal choice, or
Person's personality.
just the way that our generation is growing up, and it could just either be a phase, or it can drag into how. Like when they're older, it could be a bunch of different things. But yes, long story short, yes. It can.
Long story short, mother.
Anything you'd like to add?
no, I think you guys got the point of my question.
Yep.
All right. Well, we thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much, Mom.
Bye.
We hope you have an amazing day.
Yep. Have a great day, Mom.
Thanks.
Make sure you watch the video.
I will.
Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow the
Shamelessly
Instagram.
Will do.
Yes. Okay, Mom. All right. Bye. I'll see you.
Love you.
And she hung up.
Yeah, you're supposed to say I
Did you
love
say
you.
I love you?
You didn't say I love you to your mom.
Dang
You
it.
didn't say
Okay.
I love you?
Hold on.
You
No,
better
I'm
message
going.
her.
I'm gonna be a good son. Hold on. I'm calling her right back. I'm calling her right back.
You have to say I love you.
I have to say I love you.
She's gonna hear this.
I'll say for her.
No. Mom, I apologize. I forgot to say I love you. So I love you very dearly, mother. Also, would you like to shamelessly plug our podcast?
Would I like to what?
Would you like to shamelessly plug our podcast? Like, just advertise it. Just say it.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, just say like and subscribe and follow our Instagram.
And the name of it, the podcast again was what?
The Open Door
Like and
Podcast.
subscribe.
It's Open Door Podcast.
Okay. No, because I'm awful.
No. You could just say like and subscribe. That's all you could say, Mom. Like. Okay, you don't have to say it, Mom. You don't have to if you don't want to. Okay. Okay. Next time, next week when we have it, I'll tell you when we're doing it, and maybe you can call in the middle of it. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Mom. All right. Love you. I love you so much, Mom.
Thank you.
All right. Is there anything? Hold on. Is there anything that these guys want to say to my mom?
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Yay.
All right.
Bye.
Doing your podcast.
We will, Mom.
All right.
All right. Bye.
And speaking of buys, we have to close the door for this week.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to close the door for this
We
week.
thank our two guests, the talkative Mary, and then
The very, very quiet Ava.
The one we love the
having me.
most.
Why don't you do the
I love your
outro
mom the
here?
most.
why
Oh
are
my
you speaking
God.
in a soft tone?
You speak in such a soft tone.
No,
you
no, she doesn't
shamelessly.
talk like this normally. Like,
No.
I'm gonna be honest, it's giving like one of those like ASMR like audios.
I mean,
You
but
don't
like,
say.
this is gonna turn into an entirely other topic. so-
Entire nude. Like,
No, I
episode.
think I think
Honestly,
I
before-
recall they said that if we need, they can give us an extra few minutes. So go
No, they
ahead.
did say that.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, she
Go
talks. She
off.
talks like she's like getting paid on Patreon to like talk to people.
I don't know.
Okay,
y'all
but, like,
pay
when
me.
Someone tips her to be like, "Call me a good boy," you know.
You wanna pay me?
Oh my
You wanna
God.
pay
Watch
me?
me when I start live
She
streaming.
posts
Nah,
on Twitter. She's
if
like,
you-
"I'm a dommy
Follow
mommy."
me.
No,
Follow me at Mary.
no.
I don't have
Stop
Twitter,
babe, please.
and
I'm
that's
begging.
probably the reason I won't ever. But don't be shy. Feel free to pay me.
Stop.
Stop it.
Stop.
Make me.
Stop.
I mean,
This is our
I'm
podcast.
cringing.
Make me.
I am
This is
cringing.
our
Okay,
podcast.
well, hold on.
Good.
Side note. To wrap things up, I do have a couple points, but we're like running out of time.
That's
But,
fine. Just quick points.
Yeah,
just
there,
bullet
Bullet points.
There's a couple things that was mentioned, like
Yeah, I
like
had some points too.
how like the soft or sensitive our generation is, blah blah blah. But like you had mentioned, it's like a
Vegetation of sadness.
okay, well that
Yeah.
which it like some instances yes, but
It's-
most not really.
No, it's
So-
the fact, the way I look at it is the fact is a lot of people don't feel like they can be creative. They can feel like they can make interesting. They don't feel like they can be interesting unless they have something they actively engage in.
Yeah,
or
I mean, like,
they
there's-
are troubled in some way, shape, or form.
There's some times where like people feel like their entire identity is like, oh, I'm so sad. I'm not like other girls.
I'm not saying that
depressed."
your
But, like,
your identity, but sometimes people subconsciously
yeah, I mean, like sometimes
feel the need to be sad.
Yeah, other
because-
people feel as if maybe like, hey, these people might not like me, or
Yeah.
like, hey,
No, because I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes it's even people who don't want to be sad.
Yeah.
But they unfortunately feel like it's a part of their personality.
Yeah.
okay,
It's because it's due to the fact that throughout generations, and studies have confirmed this,
Mm-hmm.
it's like people who are depressed are more interesting, more intelligent,
Yeah.
more artistic, and people
More dominant.
people
like-
feel no.
Excuse me?
People feel this. People subconsciously feel that if someone's troubled, they're artistic. You know, there's this big stereotype of the sad girl who can write literature really well. You know?
yeah.
And you know, the problem is that as the media keeps pushing this kind of sad narrative with shows that actively look to like make people who are sad feel bad for themselves but make you relate to them, when they make you relate to sad characters, it's ultimately continuing this
Cycle of
yeah.
like.
But then it also creates an opposite spectrum for people who reject it completely, reject the emotion of sadness, and bring down others who feel this way.
yeah. Stop being sad.
That's the problem. Is
Yeah.
there's multiple spectrums of this. So there's people who depressed, they don't like it. There's people who are depressed and
And
they
they-
feel the need to be
Depressed.
make their active sadness a part of it. You know, I'm not saying that all people who are sad are
Right.
fetishizing it. I'm not saying
Right,
that
no,
all
I
people are
know.
disconnected. But the problem is that, you know, there was a point in time where I did that myself. I
yeah,
actively looked to feel sad just for the reason that I was like, I feel need to be sad because I want to be interesting.
yeah.
yeah. I mean, like there would be times where I would struggle with like whether or not I wonder if my friends still care about me if I don't have an issue, and that doesn't really matter because of issues like all the time.
Yeah.
But like there's been times where I would like maybe like me being sad is like, oh, that's how people view me. Like I'm always like, wow.
It's-
But like
When people actively make
yeah.
them being sad a part of their personality, they're constantly like, you know, people who make self-deprecating jokes about
Yeah.
like that stuff, you know, it's kind of like for sometimes if people who also can relate, it's funny, but mainly
Yeah.
because they can feel the same way. But
I'll
ultimately, when you constantly make those jokes, when the point where you're better and you can't make those jokes anymore, you feel like
I feel like you're missing something.
Exactly.
I feel
Yeah.
like something's not right. And I've recently learned that like when you make those self-deprecating jokes, like, oh, I'm so ugly, oh, I'm so hot.
You eventually
like
start to believe
Yeah, your
that
brain
stuff.
starts to actually believe that. So I had stopped making like, oh, I'm going to myself, right? I stopped making those jokes.
You
or at
gaslight
least I
yourself.
yeah. And I started making jokes about
Don't
how
do that.
hot and fine I am. And it's fake confidence, but at least it's
yeah,
it works.
ultimately it works. There's studies to prove it. I've seen it myself. You know, you don't have to be like cocky about it. Like I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying
Yeah.
like, you don't have to be cocky about it. But ultimately, if you stop self-deprecating and start bringing yourself up in small ways,
Yeah.
eventually
like even as a
your
joke, like
your mood and self-image will improve over time.
yeah.
And you know, I would definitely like to get more in detail about this in future episodes,
Yes.
and we can bring you guys back on for that.
Yes.
But currently, we are out of time, and we
Yeah, we
have to
are.
close the door.
Yes, please
The door
bring
has been
yourselves up
closing.
eventually. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we are closing the door. Unfortunately, we will be back next week. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You know, on our YouTube channel, Open Door Podcast, capital O, capital P, capital D, and make sure to follow our Instagram. Make sure to follow our Instagram at Open Door Podcast _. Thank you so much for
Ava,
tuning in.
Sherry.
Thank you.
Sherry Mary.
Thank you guys
Are you
for.
not gonna advertise us? Like, where
Thank you.
can
Yeah, I was
find us?
about to.
Can I
Thank you
make a
for.
bad joke?
After Ava's performance, I am not gonna advertise it.
Can I make a bad joke then?
What's the bad joke?
Fine.
I put the D in door.
Okay.